Money talks in football, especially in the Championship, but sometimes David does beat Goliath. Here is a look at the teams who've gone up to the Premier League with the lowest wage bills. I've taken a look at the last 10 seasons, 30 teams promoted up to the Premier League to see who did it with the lowest wage bill. Quick note, if you're looking for Luton Town in this list from last season, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer as obviously football accounts are published a year after the fact. They're probably going to be in there. We can't say exactly where yet. With that being said, here is the top 10. 10, 32 million, Middlesbrough, 2016. Borough went up in second in 2016 under Aitor Karanka. They did it without parachute payments and with a wage bill of 32.4 million. Sadly, that season in the Premier League was only a single one and remains their only one in the last 14, including 3 playoff defeats. 9, 31 million, Brighton 2017. Brighton were rivals with that Borough side we've just mentioned, and after being pipped by them the season prior, they got themselves up in 2017 with a wage bill of 31.3 million. Unlike Borough though, Brighton have been in the Premier League ever since and finished in the top 6 last season. 8, 30 million, Bournemouth 2015. Okay, this one is a little bit bittersweet. Bournemouth's rise to the top under Eddie Howe was a great story and finished in 2015 with a Championship title. But despite this relatively low historical wage, this season did of course produce Bournemouth an FFP breach and a £39 million loss. 7, 30 million, Hull City 2016. Hull went up through the playoffs in 2016 under Steve Bruce with a wage bill of 30 million. The Alarm ownership were frugal to the point that Bruce actually resigned not long after the promotion when he realised the lack of transfer support he'd be getting in the Premier League. 6, 27 million, Burnley 2016. Up ahead of that Hull team we just mentioned were Burnley, who won the title in 2016 with a £27 million wage bill. It was a bounce back season. They were getting parachute payments, but Sean Dyche would then keep them in the Premier League for the next 6 years. We'll get straight to the top 5. I know you've already hit like and hopefully commented, but why not go the whole hog and support the channel over on Patreon? Patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom for some extra content, access to our WhatsApp group and the chance to join our superb roundtable debates. 5, 26 million, Hull 2013. Off we go back to Hull, and the 2016 team that bounced back could only do so because of the team that went up in 2013. Steve Bruce and the Alarms were far more on the same page here, but they still did it with the 5th lowest wage bill on our list of 26 million. 4, 22 million, Huddersfield 2017. Huge gold star to Huddersfield for being the most recent name on our list. Again, we expect last season's Luton team to join when their accounts are released. This was a stunning playoff win by David Wagner's men, and this was as the parachute domination was really starting to take hold. 3, 21 million, Watford 2015. This was peak Potsos at Watford, if there is such a thing, as they had 4 different managers across the season. Slaviša Jokanovic took them over the line in second place. Behind the Bournemouth side, we had in 8th, although Watford spent £9 million less on their £21 million wage bill. 2, 19 million, Crystal Palace 2013. No surprise, at the top of the list, we're going back further and further. This one, 2013, and the go-to guy then for Championship promotion was Ian Holloway. He took Palace up via the playoffs with a Kevin Phillips penalty in extra time and a wage bill of just 19 million, ending an 8-season run for Palace in the second tier. 1, 15 million, Burnley 2014. And there he is once again, the thrifty master, Sean Dyche at number 1. Dyche built an automatic promotion campaign on a wage bill of just £15 million, with future England men Heaton, Trippier and Ings all doing the business before going on to have long Premier League careers. So there is our top 10 lowest promotion winning wage bills. What have we learned? Well, big props to Sean Dyche and Steve Bruce for their work in the middle of the past decade. We've learned, well, that we already perhaps knew, that inflation in Premier League TV money and thus parachute payments means nobody from the last 6 seasons is in there. We also know if Luton's promotion bonuses last year weren't too ridiculous, on top of what we think will be a wage bill of about 18 million, then their achievement will sit very nicely amongst our other lowest spending promoted teams. Big thank you to all the people who requested this topic in the comments of this video I made last week, where we looked at the 10 biggest wage bills in Championship history.